آله وصحبه وسلم. وداع رمضان. شهر رمضان ترفق، دموع المحبين تدفق، قلوبهم من ألم الفراق تشقق، عسى وقفة للوداع تطفئ من نار الشوق ما أحرق. As we are in the final days of Ramadan and we are farewelling this month, the poet, he says, O month of Ramadan, be gentle. The tears of the loved ones are starting to fall. The pain of being away from you in the hearts is tearing the heart apart. At least let us take one moment to farewell. This moment would extinguish the fire of longing that has burnt. Ibn Rajab rahimahullah, he says in his great book لطائف المعارف: فكل زمان فاضل من ليل أو نهار فإن آخره أفضل من أوله. He says that every period of time, every virtuous time, whether it's in the night or in the day, the last part of it is always more virtuous than the earlier part of it. So that's why we see the last part of the night is more virtuous than the first part of the night. The last part of the day is more virtuous than the first part of the day. Likewise, the last part of Ramadan is more virtuous than the last part of it, or than the first part of it. Ibn Rajab rahimahullah also says in his famous book Al-Lata'if: كيف لا يجري للمؤمن على فراقه يعني رمضان دموع وهو لا يدري هل بقي له في عمره إليه الرجوع. He said, how could it be that a Muslim or a believer does not shed tears of parting from Ramadan, tears, while he does not know, does he have enough life that he will make it to the next? Ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah, he says in the book At-Tabsirah, his famous works as well, he said, فَإِنَّ الْعُمْرَ سَاعَاتٍ تَذْهَبْ وَأَوْقَاتٍ تُنْهَبْ. He said, life has hours that go away and moments that are stolen. And our last hours of Ramadan are passing between our fingers, and our moments are being stolen away. So let us make use of these last hours and moments of Ramadan before they go never to return. Ibn Rajab rahimahullah also says in his famous book Al-Lata'if: كان السلف الصالح يجتهدون في إتمام العمل وإكماله ثم يهتمون بعد ذلك بقبوله ويخافون من رده. That the righteous, pious predecessors, they used to put a lot of effort in completing and perfecting the righteous deeds. And then they used to concern themselves after that with whether and hoping that deed will be accepted. And they used to have fear that that deed that they have done would be rejected. It is narrated in Musannaf Abdul Razzaq that he said, كان السلف كلما تناقصت أيام رمضان زادت طاعتهم. He said, the Salaf, the pious predecessors, as the days of Ramadan diminish, then their obedience and their worship would increase. In Mawahib al-Hisan, the author, he says, عباد الله هذا شهر رمضان قد عزم على الرحيل فمن كان منكم أحسن فيه فعليه بالتمام ومن فرط فليختمه بالحسنى فالعمل بالختام. He said, O servant of Allah, this before you is the month of Ramadan and it is ready to part. And so who of you has done well in it, then let him complete it. and whoever has fallen short, then let him conclude it with good deeds, because deeds are considered by their conclusions. So my dear brothers, especially since we have passed the eve of the 27th, that is hoped by many to be Laylatul Qadr. Many people after the eve of the 27th and staying up the night of the 27th of what is expected to be Laylatul Qadr, they have the attitude that khalas, Ramadan is finished. There's no need to do any more worship. But rather, the true believer is the one who completes and perfects his deeds to the end. And especially the one who had shortcomings and loss. Maybe someone did not do worships. Maybe someone did not wake up, for example, in the nights, and especially the night of the 27th, and thinks that it's all lost. Know that conclude your deeds with good deeds, because your deed will be considered by its conclusion. Al-Hasan al-Basri, he also said, اغتنموا الإمكان قبل أن يقال كان. He said, take advantage of what can be before it is said it was. So as long as there is a possibility, you have an ability, you have an opportunity, take advantage of that. Even in the final days, even in the final moments, in the final hours, before you lose that opportunity, and it will be said, there was an opportunity. It is mentioned in the book Sifat al-Safwa that it was said, قيل لأبي مسلم الخولاني حين كبر ورق لو قصرت على بعض ما تصنع، فقال أرأيتم لو أرسلتم الخيل في الحلبة ألستم تقولون لفارسها دعها وارفق بها حتى إذا رأيتم الغاية لم تستبقوا منها شيئا؟ قالوا بلى. قال فإني قد أبصرت الغاية، وإن لكل ساعة غاية، وغاية كل ساعة الموت، فسباق ومسبوق. So when this great saint and scholar Abu Muslim al-Khawlani, he became old in age and his bones became tender, and he used to be so excessive in worship. Those who were with him, they said, take it easy on yourself, just cut down on the excessive worships that you're doing. He said, when you send the horses in the training fields to race and so on, don't you say to the horse rider, leave it alone and be kind to it, give it a chance to rest. But then when you see the final post, don't you push the horse to race to make it to the finish line first? They said yes. He said, and I can see the finish line. Every moment or every time has a finish line, and every moment or every hour, the finish line is death. And either you will win or you will lose. You will outpace others or others will outpace you. He said, فالغايات تبلغ بجياد مضمرة لا خيل مسمنة. He said that you reach the finish line with horses that are lean, horses that are well trained, and they're thin, they don't carry fat. You don't make it to the finish line with fatty, lazy horses. It was mentioned by Ibn Abdul Hadi, لله در أقوام بادروا الأعمال واستدركوها وجاهدوا النفوس حتى ملكوها. Allahu Akbar. Ibn Abdul Hadi, he said, glory be to a people that rush to do good deeds and they manage to accomplish it. And they fight against their souls, against their egos, against their desires until they own it. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to benefit from the last days of Ramadan and to conclude it in the best way. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to make the best opportunities of these days in worship and do deeds that please Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability over our souls so that we own our souls and we control it, not that our souls and our desires own us and control us. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
Jazakallah khairan, dear Sheikh Jalal al-Chami. Just a quick announcement, my dear brothers and sisters, regarding Eid prayer. That ASWJ Australia this year, Sheikh Jalal will be waiting for the announcement either for Friday or Saturday and the various prayer locations as well.
Inshallah, the date of Eid will be announced Thursday night, being the eve of the 29th, inshallah. So it will be announced Thursday night at around 10 p.m. inshallah. As for the locations have been booked for both possible Eid dates. And the Homebush and the Bass Hill Eid prayers will be combined to pray inshallah in Louisa Reserve, which is next to the Bankstown Velodrome, off Carisfield Road, in Bass Hill.
That's off the Hume Highway, is that right, Sheikh
Off the Hume Highway. And in case of rain, we'll be praying in the Bankstown Markets, that's at the end of Eldridge Road in Bankstown or Condor Park. We have other prayer locations in Liverpool, in the Whitlam Centre, and in the Minto Netball Courts in Campbelltown, and also in Wollongong in the Sports Hub, in the I believe it's in the Wollongong University. So you can go to the eidinthepark.org.au for more details, inshallah. Also remind you to please donate generously to support Albayan Radio. You can find details of the donation at albayan.com.au and click on the donation button and it will take you directly to the donation page. Jazakumullah khairan.
And also for those who have downloaded the latest update for the Albayan Radio app, you just go to the hand app there, or the giving logo there on the app, and you can donate directly to Albayan Radio. Barakallah fikum, dear brothers and sisters. Wa jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.